Hello everyone, Pulse here with some more BlizzCon 2013 discussion content. This time around we're going to focus on the Garrison system coming to World of Warcraft with their 5th expansion, Warlords of Draenor. Now there's lots of cool stuff to go over, lots of info to take in, so let's jump right into the information, shall we? Now to start, what is the Garrison system? What the hell is a Garrison? Well, basically, Garrisons are going to be Blizzard's take on player housing in World of Warcraft. But instead of just the typical, sort of very bland housing system of old, we're going to have a lot more incentive, a lot more features to play around with in the Garrisons. A lot of them coming from their RTS days, it would seem. A lot of motivation, some cues from those days, those designs, and also some of the experiences they've had with the farms in Mists of Pandaria. Now, like farms, Garrisons are going to provide the player with a chunk of land that they can call their own, but Garrisons are going to offer so much more than that. The biggest of which is that Garrisons will be part of the world. You will feel like you own it because they're not going to be hiding behind an instance door, and instead Blizzard is implementing them in a way so that they will be part of Draenor, so you can feel like you own a piece of the continent. You can feel like you own a piece of the land that you've cultivated, and you can actually run up to the garrison that you've built, and you can actually see it on the horizon. You can see it looming there across the way, and that's really damn cool. It's really immersive. Now, this, I would assume, is being implemented in a way that uses the phasing technology that they've been developing for years and years now, and I think it's just really gotten to this really cool place where they can implement it this way so that you can see your garrison out there in the world. Now, garrisons aren't going to be placed anywhere, so we don't have to worry so much about that because they are out in the world, but they will have specific locations. They will be substantial sized locations nonetheless, and also we have multiple locations like this, so across multiple zones, across this whole continent really, we will see spots where garrisons are built. So I expect lots of different styles of garrisons, lots of different sizes, and lots of different places. Now, I'm not totally convinced that this phasing, I'm assuming it's phasing. Again, if they do it some other way, I don't really know how, but I'm not really totally convinced if we start seeing people phase behind like an invisible wall and pulling some Wrath style stuff where you just can't see your friends for weird ass reasons. I'll be kind of disappointed. But if they implement this in even a remotely kind of quote-unquote proper way, I will be really interested with the Garrison system, and it might even bring me back to playing this game a lot more. In fact, it may have already done so. But let's actually talk about the Garrison system as it is. What actually happens in a garrison? Well, the first one is kind of the obvious one. You have control over its growth. You can control where you build it, what you build within the actual garrison itself. You can choose the plots and the buildings you put on said plots. Are you going to put your inn, your house, your armory, your blacksmith? Where are you going to put your mine? So on and so forth. Lots of options with the actual building aspect. Now, talking about buildings, we can upgrade these things. We can upgrade them with special bonuses, kind of like a spec of sorts. Give it a specialization and provide bonuses. One of the examples that I keep seeing is you can have a mine in your garrison, and you can provide a boost to how fast your workers gather ore while in your garrison. Now, speaking of the workers, let's talk about the follower system, because the follower system is this kind of sub-system within the overall garrison implementation and is pretty integral to the overall experience. Now, followers are going to be your workers. They're going to be your units of sorts, if we think about this in an RTS kind of terminology, and you have to recruit them. Some of them are going to inherently become part of your garrison by coming to your town over time and maybe staying at your inn and then becoming part of the community, while others have to be earned through quests, going through the storyline of Warlords of Draenor, by earning certain achievements maybe. And then there's been mention of the ability to hire probably temporary followers like mercenaries or maybe even assassins. Now, followers are going to be able to do a number of different things, a number of different tasks on the garrison. That you can put them to work for crafting items, to gather items for said crafting for yourself or for the other followers to use. You can have them set up shop, such as a blacksmith, so you have the option to repair on your garrison, or you can even set up a shop that allows the use of certain professions you don't actually have access to because you are limited by the ones you personally have on that singular character. And then in addition, we can send some of these out to do adventures. You can have them go and do missions to earn loot for you, or maybe earn items from a little dungeon run that they do and get items for your garrison. Also, kind of in the same light as the dungeon run thing, there's been mention that you can have followers do like kind of group content almost, so you can send them out to do missions that require more than one follower to complete. And there's going to be a multiplayer element with that, where if you have your guildmate offline, but prior to going offline, he sent a group of followers to do a mission, but you're still sitting online and you're waiting for your own garrison to do something, you can join into your friends' followers kind of group and add to their own garrison mission efforts and provide bonuses for both players, potentially giving yourself some items from actually participating, and also helping the guildmate or the friend that you joined the AI party for, and give them maybe some items or a boost to how fast the actual objective was completed. And there's a lot of options with that as well. Now finally, much like the buildings within the garrison itself, the followers you have are going to grow as well. They're going to earn levels, become more effective, and you'll be allowed to equip them with different items and armors that could benefit them on the different missions or different tasks you have them do. There's lots of potential here, and again, it kind of reminds me of an RTS. There's the building aspect, there's the units you have, there's the different upgrades, which is very reminiscent of Warcraft and RTSs in general. So I'm glad to see that they have added this to the garrison. And overall, I'm pretty well excited by this news. Player housing is something Blizzard has said time and time again, really, that they wouldn't implement into the game. And I think what's really happened here is they see the pressure from games like WildStar, EverQuest Next, Final Fantasy XIV, and ESO has said that they want to do something with player housing in the future as well. And they've obviously felt the pressure to finally bite the bullet and implement it in this game. But I have to give props for them not doing the very obvious thing. They've obviously taken some steps to do something a little bit more innovative, especially with the ability to place the garrison out in the world, and the fact that there are elements of actual gameplay. There's some incentive to actually do something with the garrison, their version of the player housing system. And usually the player housing system is nothing more than, I have a house, I'm going to spend ludicrous gold and effort to earn my house, but there's not really anything to do with it. And instead, with the WoW variation in garrisons, we're going to have a lot to do. There's a lot of elements to play with. There's the recruits and the followers, the workers and the building and the progression, and it could be a lot of fun and worthwhile to actually tinker with. Plus, I'm not really against having an extra aesthetic option for RP. I'm sure the roleplay community is pretty excited by this as well. I know I am. I mean, who can really argue with having more places to congregate and socialize while in character, while role-playing? That's a big plus for me, and I'm sure most role players are happy with that as well. But you know what, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me on this first look of sorts with the garrison system coming to World of Warcraft, Warlords of Draenor. I think it's looking really cool, and I know it's one of the features that have got me reinterested into the game, and it's one of the things that may or may not have got me to resub recently. I'm still skeptical about the expansion in general, but it looks really awesome. Some of the stuff in the garrison system is one of the big implementations to do that. But you guys let me know down below what you think of the garrison system. How are you going to use it? Are you wanting to build a very efficient fortress and micromanage every day for peak efficiency and maximum farming potential to bolster your own crafting output or your own ability to provide for raids, for example? Or are you more on the other side about carrying the aesthetic angle and making your garrison more about it's your home, it's your mini city, it's your village, it's your role play place? Are you into that as well? I think I'm probably going to do a little bit of both. I'm a sucker for the immersive aesthetic part of the garrison system, which they've mentioned, and I'm hoping they've really done well to implement this so that it is as immersive as they say they want it to be. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video and the discussion about it, make sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave a comment down below on anything discussed in this video or anything video game related in the slightest. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.